Keep yourself in the loop of everything football. Listen to Alex and Jeremiah on the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Hello there, I'm Jeremiah.
I am Alex, always and forever here.
Dedicated to college and NFL football. The latest football news on and off the field. NFL draft trade rumors. We've got you covered from the NFL, Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, Pac-12, ACC, and everything else in between. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Thank you for tuning into the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast, where we talk the latest news, rumors, and games of the NFL and college football, from the latest signings to this year's breakout stars and all the news in between. As always, I'm Jeremiah.
And I am Alex.
Oh, so
hey,
you know your name now. I'm okay, because you were saying, and now I'm Jeremiah.
I did that one time.
Okay, no, you did it twice.
You always bring it up. You never let anything go. Ugh.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's get started.
You want to get this thing started?
Yeah,
okay,
man. Let's do this.
Well, I want to talk about this. You know who Miles Kilbrew is? You know who that is?
Football player.
Football player for he's a rookie for the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
He's competing for one of the starting jobs at defense.
Okay.
And but he's been gaining popularity now in the city of Detroit. He has a beer named after him called Kilbrew IPA. You know, brewed by 4th Street Brewery in Detroit or in Michigan. I'm not really the actual location of the brewery he's at, but yeah, this is actually pretty fun. Because I used to cover. I'm sure as some of you guys know, I've said this a couple times. I've covered the Big Sky Conference, the FCS, when I was a Sacramento State beat writer, and you know, Miles Kilbrew played in the Big Sky for the starting Utah Thunderbirds, and this kid was he was a stud. You know, I don't want to get much into him, but like I knew who he was before this.
Yeah. And
I always liked his name. He always had like a football player name, Miles Kilbrew.
That's a pretty heavy duty name.
It's great defensive player name. And when I heard his name, Kilbrew, I always thought of beer, and this is perfect. I just thought this was a perfect thing for him. Because before he even plays it down, he already has a beer named after him. Yeah, that's pretty good.
What kind of beer is it?
IPA.
Nah, I don't know. I'm not much of I've told you before. I'm not much of a beer person, but I don't even like IPA that much. Oh, actually, excuse me. I don't like beer that much. I don't like IPA at all.
Oh yeah, you don't like beer at all. Yeah,
not really. No.
I enjoy
really.
IPAs though. I really do. Yeah.
I just don't like the taste. You know.
Well, I'm going to be honest. You don't really drink for them for taste. I'm just saying.
I don't think you drink any alcohol for taste. Because
some of them, some IPAs are really, really strong that I can't.
I just don't like the taste.
I can't sip on it. Some are actually pretty good, but there's some I really, really can't sip. That's how that's strong. But
that's all for me. I just don't like them.
Okay, yeah, and then, I don't know. Kilbrew actually visited the brewery earlier this month. He didn't say he had a beer or not. He's actually not a big drinker. But he was actually really flattered by the intention. You know, it was on the 4th Street Brewery's Twitter page with a picture of him and a couple of the employees there. But yeah, I think it's a cool story.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, especially if he's like a fan. If you're a fan of beer and you have a beer named after you, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay, well, the brewery's website describes Kilbrew's namesake beer as light in body and malt character and rich and fruity and piney notes, making it the perfect IPA to drink while on the porch or playing football with some friends. And then,
why would you want to drink beer while playing football?
I don't know, but it just
makes no sense to me. It's like, hey, man, you want to jump on some trampolines and drink soda? No.
Or, like, you want to, like, eat some ice cream and jump into the pool? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, I would do that. But I'm talking, like, I don't want to do anything if I'm drinking beer.
Yeah, I know. Like,
I just do want to do, like, activities.
Yeah, I don't want to play football, pick a football and drink beer.
Hey, man, let's go play, you know, badminton and drink some hot tea. It just doesn't make sense. But I get why they included it. So.
But yeah, you get why, because it's football player. Well, the brewery used Summer, Pacifica, Amarillo, and Magnum to hop the beer, and then for malt, there's full pint malt, caramel tan, white wheat, Radix, and deathstrokes to create depth to the light of it.
You're pretty much just saying words right now.
Yeah, you. Well, I'm just reading off the the websites, how they described it, So
fair enough.
But yeah, I kind of. So if you guys are in Michigan, go ahead and try the beer and tell me how it tastes, because I'm really intrigued to try it.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, but
I'm really intrigued to try it. So yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool. Like I said, if I was a beer drinker and somebody named a beer after me, that would be pretty cool. But
because I know Stone Cold Steve Austin has a beer named after him.
Stone Cold Steve Austin loves himself some beer.
Yeah,
that's no joke.
I know.
Except for somebody that loves beer so much, he sure wastes a lot of it.
Yeah, he does. I know. I didn't honestly though. When I was a little kid and I used to watch wrestling, I didn't really care about that. And now I realize, I'm like, man, why are you wasting all that beer? Stone Cold.
I don't care.
On,
waste as much beer as you want, but I'm like, if you want to drink it, you're really not getting as much as you could have paid for.
Okay. Well, anyway, moving on. I just wanted to share that story with you guys. Moving on. What we have on tap for you guys today?
I like that. What you have on tap?
Oh yeah, you got it on tap. Yeah, you like that? What we
Did you do that on purpose?
No, it literally just flowed. What we have on tap for you guys today? BYU. We're going to talk about them a little bit. They have the desire to join a Power 5 conference. Trevone Boykin, the current Seattle Seahawks quarterback, former TCU Horned Frog.
I have heard of him, yes.
Yeah, we will have an update on his legal issues we talked about on the previous episode.
Okay. And
we're going to get, we have a very special treat for you guys, for you college fans. There's a new Netflix series premiering later this month called Last Chance U, and talking about the East Mississippi Community College football team. So, yeah.
We're just going to jump into it, though, with BYU. So BYU is, in their words, ready to join a Power 5 conference, but with a little bit of a hitch there, is they said they still won't and still will refuse to play on Sundays.
Yeah.
Obviously, BYU, for those who don't know, is named BYU after Brigham Young, kind of one of the originators of the Mormon religion. It is a Mormon school and has a written policy against competition on Sundays because of religious reasons, which would require scheduling concessions if BYU was to move to one of the bigger conferences. What is interesting is BYU is one of the leading candidates to possibly move to the Big 12 if they expand.
Yeah.
It is one of those that's up there.
Which we will get into in our next episode after this.
Well, we'll be doing a Big 12 preview.
Yeah.
We're not really going to get into the expansion, but we'll be doing a Big 12 preview. But it is widely thought that they would be one of the top candidates. They're hoping that it's not a big issue, the not playing on Sundays. Now, I think that would be more relevant to basketball, wouldn't it, or baseball?
Yeah,
because college football is always on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah,
at least through the week. They're not Sundays.
Yeah, college football is hardly ever played on Sundays,
unless
except for
like
I think
a
couple of there's a couple of conference that does play on Sundays, but mainly they don't play on Sundays because, of course, the NFL dominates that day.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't want that competition.
Yeah, but, I don't imagine. It's not a lot, and usually it's a specific kind of game.
Even if there is, it's really. I don't think any of the Power 5 conferences play on that day anyway.
No, I don't think so. I think it's what they mean, and I think it's more so for other sports because when you join another conference, you play all of your sports in that conference typically. Yeah. So basketball, baseball, soccer.
Because I know all the Big 12 schools, they're all in that conference. In the Big 12, yeah, they're in every sport. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking like yes. So it'd be interesting to see. BYU isn't the greatest when it comes to football. They have gotten better for the most part, but as a school, they want to move. I think it would be a good move for them. They want to hope that it's not something that's going to hinder the ability to join a Power 5 conference they're not playing on. They hope that's not like a deal breaker,
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, though. Like I said, BYU, it's not like they're ever really a big name when it comes to football, at least sports. They do have good years. They really do, but I don't think it's going to be something that's,
Well, remember,
make or break.
That policy of not playing on Sundays, it wasn't a major issue when the university was in other conferences. They were also in the Mountain West. It wasn't a problem there. Yeah,
currently they are an independent.
Yeah.
They had FBS independent join the likes of Notre Dame, which is another school that's probably much more of a notable school. And then Massachusetts and Army, just 5 teams there, excuse me. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they move out of there. It really would. And if anything would change with the independents as well. If they'd add a team or keep it at 4. I'm sorry, it is at 4. If they'd add a team or keep it at 3, it'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it would be. It's more interesting for the independents, honestly.
In a sense, yeah. Because, it doesn't really matter where they move, whether it's the ACC, the SEC, which wouldn't happen. Big 12 probably wouldn't happen, maybe. Depends if they expand Big 12, Big 10. That'd be interesting to see, man. It'd be really interesting to see. But we're going to move on. As a matter of fact, we're actually going to take our first break. Because
already?
Man, we're already in, man. We're in 10 minutes in already.
Oh, okay.
I know, right?
All right.
So we're going to take our first break, Jeremiah.
Yeah, I got to go on that bathroom break real quick.
Oh, God, no. I'll be sitting here for weeks. All right, so we're going to take our first break here at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. Do not go anywhere. Like I said last episode, Jeremiah cries. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
All right, and we're back here at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. We're going to move into some college NFL news, hybrid news, because he's not officially an NFL player yet in the sense of he hasn't played a season, but he is in a sense. He's on the Seahawks. So Trevone Boykin, former TCU quarterback, current, at least on the roster, backup quarterback to Russell Wilson with the Seattle Seahawks. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. It was facing some issues with the police, at least with the law enforcement. If you want to go ahead and get into that, Jeremiah, I'd be happy to listen to you.
Yeah, Trevone Boykin pleaded no contest to resisting arrest, last week on Thursday. He was charged with a misdemeanor for what? What's so funny?
The way you said that made me laugh.
Misdemeanor?
You said misdemeanor?
Yeah, he was charged with a misdemeanor for,
assaulting an officer.
For assault.
Sense of resisting arrest, but apparently assaulting an officer.
Resisting arrest. And I think it was assault, yeah. It was during the TCU's New Year's Eve trip to San Antonio for the bowl game, I believe.
Stupid of him.
But Boykin didn't get off that easy. He did receive a 1-year probation and is expected to serve the majority of it, in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. He was also hit with a $1,500 fine plus $237 in court legal fees, and then, like you said, the 1 year of probation. So it's not like he got out scot-free. He does, of course, have to serve that 1 year of probation. If he messes up any further than that, you could probably expect a higher possibility of serving some time there, in my opinion. Might be good for him because that sounds like a little stupid idea. You can't go doing stuff like that.
He was another silly guy that did something, but he also was ordered to apologize to the arresting officer. That was another implication too. So, yeah.
I imagine the officer either says, "Yeah, no, thanks," or
I don't think the officer even accepted the apology. But
they can accept it if they want. I don't think they have to, though.
They don't. No.
I think as far as
anyone doesn't have to accept any apology.
You know what I mean? Like
I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Like I don't think they have to sit there and be civil. I think if they wanted to, they could be like, no, no, I'm good, thanks. But it's an interesting story to say the least, I would suppose. Do you think he's got a shot at being Russell Wilson's backup? Because, like we said, Tavares Jackson's no longer on the roster. They have one other player out of formerly Miami University, obviously the U, but he moved around a lot. Not necessarily seems like the guy that's an answer at quarterback. Do you think that Trevone needs to get his get his situation together because he has a really big shot at being that backup quarterback for Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I really do. Because, Tavares Jackson's not on the team, and Boykin's probably the best suited to be the backup quarterback on this team.
Similar style. He doesn't have Russell Wilson's arm.
No, but he does have the athleticism like Russell Wilson does.
Yeah, he has the ability to get on the perimeter, run the ball around. He reminds me a lot like Nick Marshall, but much better arm than Marshall.
Yeah,
Marshall struggled with accuracy throughout, I find.
I think Nick Marshall had to actually change positions too.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevone had a better arm in the sense that he'd carry over and be like an athletic quarterback. So I do think that he can. I do think he could, win that spot. I think, like I said, he's very similar to Russell in that sense. I don't know if they're the same size, but he's very similar in the sense. I mean, I say he doesn't have a similar arm. Not many people have Russell Wilson's type arm. He's small, but he throws one of the nicest spirals in the NFL. Not in opinion, but not my favorite. I think the best.
You're talking about Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
right?
I think the best spiral in the NFL is Flacco. That dude always throws spirals. It's ridiculous. But he throws one of the best spirals in the NFL. He's accurate. He's got a killer strong arm. I think he's throwing darts with that thing. So I think similar playing style. Of course, he's got that athleticism. Excuse me, to get on the outside, get on the perimeter, run the ball, run those quarterback reads. Something breaks down. Russell's one of the best at extending the play, and then something breaks down, he can, get yards and then he slides. He's a smart guy. He doesn't take a lot of punishment. I've never seen Russell Wilson get just smashed. I think I've seen maybe one really hard hit on one of those NFC Championship games. I think the game Navarro Bowman got hurt.
Oh,
I think Alden Smith lit him up one time. But other than that, you don't see him get hit hard very often. He's nimble in the pocket. I think, if anything, Trevone can learn a lot from him. So I think it's a good spot for him to be in, and I think if he can keep smart and keep things going right, I think, he can definitely earn that spot for sure. Yeah,
a lot of the Seattle coaches spoke favorably high of him, throughout the spring.
Yeah, and they knew that this was going on when they drafted him.
Yeah. He went undrafted.
Yeah, when they signed him, excuse me. They knew this when they signed him, that he had these legal issues coming up and possibly could be facing, as far as I know, maybe possibly jail time they were looking at. So they knew it when they brought him on, so they saw something in him that they liked enough to bring on. And since he got there, he said that he's just been in Russell Wilson's pocket the entire time, really just trying to pick everything up because he does take it seriously. It's just, that's maybe one mistake on, maybe he's never really made a mistake.
Just one silly night.
It's just something you can't do, man.
He can't do it. I'm being serious. Anybody can have one dumb mistake and it can really cost you. So,
exactly. So hopefully he can get past that because he seemed like a good player with TCU.
No, he was a great player with TCU, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Took him to some pretty good games, pretty good height,
Yeah.
And now that wasn't there. Was that the year that they fell out of the college football playoffs?
Yeah, I think just out of it.
Well, they were number 3 and they dropped to 5.
Yeah, they were in it and then they dropped out of it. Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
I know the Big 12 was just a big
mess.
Yeah, which we'll preview on our next episode, by the way. So stay tuned for that.
You're just dropping hints.
But yeah,
you're just dropping hints. Well,
gotta keep the people interested.
That's true. Well, we do have a shorter episode today because we only have Last Chance U to talk about.
Yeah.
After this, so we're gonna take one last quick break.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of fun, and we'll be back. And Jeremiah and I will talk about this wonderful Netflix series coming up. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
All right, welcome back. Hey, Jeremiah, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right, man.
We're almost done. Got one more story.
We're on this long stretch. Why don't you introduce it for me?
Okay, yeah. For you college football fans out there, there's possibly a new series for you guys to binge watch before the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Netflix is going to premiere a new documentary series called Last Chance U.
Last Chance U.
Yes.
It's a cool name.
Yeah, it's chronicling the East Mississippi Community College, who have probably one of the best community colleges programs in football in the country. They got guys, like Chad Kelly played there, Bo Wallace, even current Auburn quarterback John Boykin III, who just transferred there. So he's a main. main player that's going to be featuring in this series.
Yeah. As the description describes, quote, a gut-wrenching, behind-the-scenes look at the world of college football. It's based on a GQ article of the same name. Pretty much, like you said, centers around East Mississippi Community College Lions. They are the Lions. A lot of guys, a lot of times you have community colleges in that sense either have guys that are on the cusp of really going and playing high levels, or as this says, talented players who are seeking redemption for a variety of reasons, flunking out of school, failing drug tests, so on and so forth. So definitely something cool to keep in mind too.
Yeah, it's only a 6-part series, so it's very short. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of Friday Night Lights. Apparently, is what they're saying.
Yeah, it kind of is. And I'm actually really interested to see this, because we don't hear a lot about community college football.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've heard from many football coaches when I was in high school, and a lot of football players too, and that I know from Sac State, community college football is tough, man. It's really tough because everyone's trying to get up to Division I,
mm-hmm.
trying to transfer.
Everyone's trying to transfer. It's a different kind of thing, yeah. And like they said, it's going to be, they're in the right place. The school is, known for turning down Division I and even NFL-worthy talent. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this show shapes out. I mean, sounds interesting to watch. I'm really interested in this. It's something that I'm probably going to end up watching.
Yeah, I'm really interested to watch it too.
I have the Cardinals Amazon series to start. Still, I have this, and then there's another series coming out too, right?
On Bleacher Report, they have a doc. I don't think it's a series, but it's a documentary on Michael Vick.
Okay.
Back when he was in Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Who I still think is the best college football player of all time, but I'm not going to get into that.
I don't know about best college football player of all time.
Really?
There's a lot of good college football players.
Well, he is definitely my favorite.
O.J. Simpson was a great college football player.
O.J. Simpson
Reggie Bush was a great college football player. Bo Jackson was a great college football player. Vince
Young was pretty good too.
Vince Young was really good. Yeah, there's a lot of really good college football players.
I smell a debate brewing.
Man, maybe we'll have to talk about it one day.
Yeah, maybe. You like that?
I do
debate
like that.
Brewing.
I was just talking about you smell. I was like, what do you smell? Somebody making food. I don't know if I'll watch the Vic one. I liked Vic more in the NFL.
I don't know. I do
too.
too.
To him in college.
I do like Vic more in the NFL. I think that's because of that. That's how I knew about him. But when he did, once I found out what he did in Virginia Tech, the things that he did, the way he played, it was just amazing. He was just like a one-man wrecking crew.
It's who I think is the best dual-threat quarterback of all time.
Yeah, and I'm actually really interested to see that documentary on Michael Vick. This series on Netflix coming up soon, because I'm just a huge football guy, so it's very interesting to see how community college football program is. Because they operate a lot differently than Division I schools do, obviously, because they're smaller,
all that stuff. Yeah,
they're smaller. And I still want to check out that Arizona Cardinals series on Amazon.
Yeah, me too. I've heard good things.
I have a lot of binge watching to do.
Yeah, I've been on such football withdrawals. The other day, I watched Canadian football.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
It was interesting. It was interesting to say the least. But I'm not here to talk about Canadian football. I'm actually here to say we're done for this episode.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
we're all done.
But we will come back with a new episode.
Right after this.
Exactly. Previewing the Big 12.
Yeah, we did a preview on Monday of the Pac-12. We're keeping it with the even 12s here, and we're going to, even though it's a team of 10, it's conference of 10, we're going to do the Pac-12 and preview that pretty much.
You said we're going to preview the Pac-12.
I'm sorry, I said the Pac-12. We're going to preview the Big 12.
Big 12, yes.
So
remember, we have this extra episode for you guys for not having one on Tuesday.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is your
guys' present. This is from us to you.
Yes, you're welcome, America. On the week of America's birthday. I'm kidding.
Yeah, this is a gift for you, America.
Yeah.
So as always, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at the GSMC_football podcast. You can find us on Twitter YouTube if you search GSMC Podcast Network. I'm sure you can find all of our wonderful shows on there. You can find us with what I said, GSMC Football. You can find us on our website, GSMCfootballpodcast.com. Or I'm sorry, GSMCpodcast.com. I think it's /football, but you can find all of our shows through our network and through the portfolio on there. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all the streaming sites you can find our podcasts. They're very great.
And best of all, it is free.
Yeah, 100% free. Don't forget to use...
Unless you don't have a smartphone, then I don't know what to tell you then.
Computer. Don't forget to use hashtag GSMC Podcast Network when referring to us. If you go on YouTube, iTunes, you can leave comments, reviews, all of that good stuff. And as always, I am Alex.
And I am Alex.
Yes, you are, because
kidding.
you always just want to be me.
No, I'm kidding. I'm Jeremiah.
No, man, you're Alex.
No.
No, you said it. Must be true.
No.
Everything everybody says on the air is true, right?
No.
All right.
All
well,
right.
as always, we'll see you guys next time, okay?